Hi, thank you for coming back. It is time to embrace holidays. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and let's dig into this video. One of my friends told me about these gingerbread houses, and she got them from Five and Below. I don't know if you've ever heard of Five and Below, if you have one where you live, but I had one I've already constructed. It was pretty cool, so I decided to go ahead and do another one while I was telling you about my experiences while living in Mexico and in Spain and celebrating the holiday season. I'm going to embrace making gingerbread houses the way I want instead of trying to copy the box. Anyway, let's get started. I am about to get started on this gingerbread house, and I'm going to tell you all about my Christmas experiences as far as living in the United States, being born and raised here, and also the times that I lived in Mexico and in Spain. And I hope you enjoyed this story time. So looking at these gingerbread houses, one of them is broken on the back. Good thing, I'm only using one out of this box. I realized the last time that I made a gingerbread house from this kit that my icing goes a lot further if I only use one. So I'm gonna go ahead and just use one this time. Do you remember your first memory from Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever it is you celebrate during this holiday season? My first memory is receiving a Cabbage Patch Preemie and a corn silk Cabbage Patch. Let me tell you, this was all the rave in the 80s.
Come and open your arms to a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Cabbage Patch Kids. Each one's unique, each sold separately by Coleco.
This icing, you have to knead it and press on it for about 1 minute and 30 seconds. So that's what I'm about to do. But anyway, baby, getting back to baby. She's one of my first presents that I remember, and I took her with me everywhere. Till this day, I still take her with me everywhere. If I go anywhere over a week, baby is with me. I'm doing a million things at one time, typical me. But I'm currently watching Divine Fury and talking about some real ASMR. Let's get into it as I open this packaging and break these pieces. And let me tell you, the first time I did it, I thought I was going to actually break it into pieces. So I have to be very careful with it. Anyway, so another one of my memories growing up was we would travel to New York with my family and spend time with my aunts and uncles in New York, because if we didn't see them during the Christmas time, we went up there during the summertime. And it was just really cool to see New York and all the lights and the Christmas, and to go to Macy's and those types of things. So I'm very fortunate and blessed that my family was able to give us those opportunities and experiences as I was growing up. I would say that one of our lasting traditions for my family when it comes to Christmas is to watch a movie as a family on Christmas Day, typically going to the movie theater midday matinee time to watch a movie. But of course, it's very different this year because of COVID-19, and we just want to stay safe. So we're going to watch a movie at home, and we'll text each other and talk about the movie as we're watching it together. Right now, I am putting the icing along the edges so I can do my tiny house construction. You get a tiny house. You get a tiny house. You get a tiny house. Okay, but seriously, this icing is so amazing. It is really sticky and it dries pretty quickly, so it holds things together. You'll see. The walls are going up on my tiny house. Okay, so it's not a tiny house. It's a tiny gingerbread house. Work with me, people. Back to story time with Tiffany. In 2003, I took a job in Mexico, Puebla, Mexico. And it was at an American school. And I loved living in Mexico. Let me tell you, it was everything. Don't believe everything you see on the news. Go see it for yourself. I mean, well, wait until, I don't know. You can go now or you can wait until COVID's over. But anyway, Mexico is an amazing country. I loved it and I loved living there. The first year I was in Mexico, I decided to go back home for the holiday season and to spend time with my family. But the second year, I took it upon myself to stay in Mexico and actually celebrate the holiday season with them. Or when I say with them, with my friends, because I really want to immerse fully in the culture and understand everything about it, because I knew I was going to come back to the United States and I wanted to be the Spanish teacher that kind of knew a lot of stuff. And from my experience and not just from reading it in a book or looking it up online. As you can see, my little gingerbread house is coming together. I'm really excited, and you should see what I'm going to do next. But let me get back to my story first. Before I go on any further, I want you to know there will be some links below that will tell you more in detail what Las Posadas is in Los Reyes Magos. Please keep in mind that this is about my personal experiences in Mexico and in Spain, so it may be different from your average Mexican person. I'm just speaking from the family that I was able to spend time with. So Las Posadas is one of those traditions in Mexico. It starts on December the 16th and ends on December the 24th. But like I said, at Sylvia's house, we kind of did a simulation where we did all of the, asking can they come in. A group of the family stayed outside of the house and the other family stayed on the inside of the house and did the questions of, can we come in? And then the family on the inside of the house rejected them. And that played out very quickly. However, like I said, traditionally, it's going to be December the 16th through December the 24th. I took out some time yesterday to go ahead and cut out little pieces for the rooftop so that I can maximize my time today. Guess what? It is still taking forever to make this gingerbread house. I'm not mad at it because it's looking kind of cute right now. Keeping up with the Mexican tradition, majority of the children receive their gifts on Dia de los Reyes Magos, or it's also known as Epiphany, which is January the 6th, and that it marks the end of the 12 days of Christmas. No, why did I just do that? Why didn't I start with the shingles from the bottom and build up? Ugh. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and change it. It also commemorates the three wise men, Melchior, Gaspar, and Balthasar, who traveled from afar to bring gifts to baby Jesus. So I like to joke with my family and tell them that, how do I look like giving you gifts before Jesus got his gifts? So y'all gonna wait until January the 6th like he did. I'm not gonna give you gifts before him. Like, why would I do that? This is also known as Old Christmas. So again, when I was, saying before the 12 days of Christmas, the 12 days of Christmas actually end on January the 6th. And lastly, when I lived in Spain, it was such an amazing experience because I was able to travel to different countries while I was living there during the holiday season. So not only did I experience in Spain, I also was able to experience some holiday festivities in Germany and in London. And it was such a great time to see all the different cultures and the people celebrating this time of year. I will say the biggest difference of celebrating the holiday season in Spain versus in Mexico. In Mexico, I had a family that I was able to celebrate and really get into the celebrations and the traditions. In Spain, I didn't. And I celebrated with my American friends who we got together. We did an ugly Christmas sweater party and we had another Christmas dinner. And other than traveling to the other countries, it felt very American to me versus the way it did in Mexico. I do understand some of the culture and some of the differences in what they celebrate, but it was still, for me, get really deep into the culture. I experienced more of that in Mexico than I did in Spain. Also, they have something in Spain that's called El Gordo, the fat one, and it is a Christmas lottery. It is the biggest one in the world, paying out more than 2 billion euros each year. Let me tell you something. I need a win. And for those that are super traditional, they will have their family meal on Christmas Eve, and after the meal they would head to church together for the Misa de gallo, the midnight mass. And this is one of their services that is an affirmation of their faith. It's also one of the most attended church services of the year, and it's another time for the families just to get together and to give thanks. Before I finish this up, I just want to say that all of my experiences so far have been very positive. And I know Christmas and the holiday season isn't positive for everyone. But I'll tell you this. There was one Christmas that I came home. This is when I was living in Mexico. I came home and everything was great. I was excited. I had been away for a couple of months. I had just moved to Mexico in 2003, August of 2003. And I, of course, was excited to see my family and just could not wait to get home, see friends, and just hang out. And I got home, everything was going well, and my dad got sick and went to the hospital. And that just changed Christmas for me, because the holiday season is supposed to be about happiness. And I know this year, for a lot of people, it's going to be one of those seasons where Christmas isn't going to be everything that you thought it would be. And that's how it was for me that Christmas. And not too long after, I did lose my dad. But I will say my family and their support was everything to me, because they encouraged me once everything was said and done with my dad and, his body was laid to rest. We, as a family, decided that it would still be good for me to move back to Mexico and to continue working there and enjoying life and moving forward. And it was hard. It was really hard. I was able to push through. But that following Christmas wasn't the same, obviously. And I decided to stay in Mexico. And even though it wasn't the same coming home, it was one of the best things, and I think one of the best decisions I made, because I was able to fully embrace living in Mexico and their celebrations and how they celebrated things, and learning so much about the culture. I hope that you have enjoyed my story time and my fun stories of living in Mexico and living in Spain and experiencing what it's like for the holiday season for me. And I hope that you will continue to enjoy your holiday season, even if it's a hard time. Find something, create memories, create a new tradition, make gingerbread houses. And I will finish this. You will see the finished product by the end of this video. But just do something so that you can create new memories. Even if, you're having a hard time, find some way to create a new memory, to make it new, to make it fun for your family to get through these hard times, so that you can look back on it and say, you know what, it was hard for us during this time, but we created something new. We created something fun to make it more memorable, and so that it can get us through the hard times. And if we made it through this, we can make it through anything. Okay, let me finish with the house. I found a YouTube video that has a grandfather clock striking 12, and so you'll hear the do 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 do. And after that part, you'll hear each stroke of the clock. And okay, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna do it. Had to make sure I was recording, because I don't want to peel any more grapes. Happy New Year.
Times we forgot and never brought to mind. Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of auld lang syne? For auld lang syne, my dear, for auld lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for days of auld lang syne.
I'm done. Here it is. I think it turned out super well. I'm impressed. I really love the roof. I spent the most time on this and it looks really cute. So here it is. I enjoyed telling you all my stories. I hope you enjoyed them. If you have any questions or comments, please don't forget to put them below so I can answer them for you. Have a great day.